The courtroom was unusually silent that morning as a frail, exhausted-looking man named Michael Torres slowly approached the podium, his hand shaking slightly as he held a stack of unpaid parking and traffic violation notices that had followed him like a shadow for more than 15 years, and according to the court record, the total fines, penalties, late fees, and compounded interest had reached an unbelievable amount of $2.7 million, a number so large it felt almost unreal for a man who clearly owned nothing more than the worn jacket on his back. The charges included thousands of unpaid parking tickets, expired registration citations, and minor traffic violations accumulated during years when Michael was homeless, living out of his broken-down van, which had long since been towed and destroyed. And as the prosecutor read the list in a flat, mechanical voice, many people in the courtroom quietly shook their heads, assuming this was just another case of chronic neglect and irresponsibility. But when Judge Caprio leaned forward and gently asked Michael to tell his story, everything changed, because Michael explained through tears that 15 years ago he had been a skilled construction worker and single father raising his daughter Sophia alone after his wife died from cancer, and when Sophia became seriously ill with a rare heart condition, Michael lost his job while spending every day and night at the hospital, draining his savings to keep her alive, parking illegally near emergency entrances because he was afraid to leave her side even for a minute, and each ticket felt meaningless at the time compared to the sound of her heart monitor. But after Sophia passed away at just 9 years old, Michael's world collapsed completely. He couldn't bring himself to open mail, couldn't face bills, couldn't even step into his old apartment without breaking down, and one missed payment turned into 10 into hundreds, until he was living on the streets, unaware that the fines were silently growing into a number that would later label him a repeat offender. And as he spoke, Judge Caprio removed his glasses, his voice softer now, asking Michael why he never came to court earlier. And Michael replied that shame had kept him away, that he believed the system would never listen to someone who had already lost everything, that he thought he deserved punishment for surviving when his daughter did not. And at that moment the courtroom felt heavy with emotion, with even the prosecutor lowering his eyes, and Judge Caprio paused for a long moment before saying that the law exists to enforce responsibility but also to recognize humanity, explaining that fines are meant to correct behavior, not to destroy what little life a person has left. And after reviewing the case carefully, the judge ruled that the entire $2.7 million in fines would be dismissed, stating that justice without compassion is not justice at all. But he didn't stop there, because he ordered the court to connect Michael with housing assistance and employment programs, emphasizing that the goal of the court is not just to punish past mistakes but to give people a fair chance to rebuild. And as Michael broke down crying, thanking the judge for seeing him not as a number but as a father who had already paid the highest price imaginable, Judge Caprio concluded by reminding everyone in the courtroom that you never truly know the battles a person is fighting when they stand before the law, and that sometimes the most powerful ruling a judge can make is not a fine, but mercy.